Wan-Bissaka, here we go. Imminent Cheeto Obi Martin and Mazraoui medicals in the next few days. Rabiot reveals wage demands and bidding war for Scott McTominay. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please do me a small favour. Smash a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. Right, so I want to start the show off with some positivity. And I'm going to focus on Cheeto Obi Martin. He will be our third signing of the season, of the summer even. And the report coming out in the last couple of minutes from Sky Sports is that Cheeto Obi Martin is expected to have his medical tomorrow at Manchester United. So we should get the official announcement of the player holding the shirt and all of that other good stuff tomorrow. Remember, Cheeto Obi Martin is going straight into the first team. He's not going to be going to the under-18s, and he will be Manchester United's third striker for this season. Obviously, Rasmus Højlund and Xerxes being 1 and 2, and Cheeto Obi Martin being number 3. Now, obviously, with Rasmus Højlund being injured, Cheeto Obi Martin's probably going to get a chance. Now, I don't think he's going to start. Don't get me wrong. He will be a bench player. But if Xerxes is going to be our number 1 striker for the next 6 weeks at least, until Rasmus Højlund is back, Cheeto Martin will definitely get some game time. So I'm really, really excited to see what he can do. Obviously, he had an unbelievable season last year for the Arsenal under-18s team, scoring 32 goals. Amazing. He scored 7 goals in one game, and that was only in about 60 minutes. He scored 10 goals against Liverpool in one game. He's a quality player. And, you know, I think age is just a number sometimes. He definitely is ready from what I've seen of him, and I'm glad that he's going straight into the first team and not going into the reserve. So Cheeto Obi Martin to Manchester United. We should get the official pictures and stuff tomorrow. Obviously, we've already had the here we go for him, so that deal is effectively done. He just hasn't come and done his medical, and obviously had the pictures at Carrington and all the rest of it. So we should get that one tomorrow, I reckon, which will be good. That'll be a nice another signing in the bag. That'll be our third signing of the summer. But yeah, I'm really excited to see him. Obviously, we've got to be realistic in our expectations. We can't be expecting him to, be scoring 20 goals in his first year. He might get a couple of minutes here and there. He might get the odd game in the Europa League later on in the competition. Say we win the first 4 games of the Europa League, there might be an opportunity for him to get a chance then. Say we play a lower league team in the League Cup, he might get an opportunity then. So, yeah. But what I will say is this, right? I think Erik ten Hag is the right man to develop Cheeto Obi Martin. We've seen what Erik ten Hag's done with Harry Amias, Toby Collier, Kobe Mainu, Garnacho. There's probably some others I've forgotten about. Like, Erik ten Hag has been very good at bringing through youth players. So I've got very high hopes to see what Erik ten Hag will do with Cheeto Obi Martin. But the next story I've got for you is on Adrien Rabiot. And before I give you this bit of news, I want you guys to let me know, should Manchester United sign Adrien Rabiot? He's a free agent, so it wouldn't cost a transfer fee. And if you think we should sign him, how much do you think would be a realistic wage? Like, what would you want to pay Rabiot per week? Let me know in the comment section. So this is coming out from Manchester Evening News in the last couple of minutes, that apparently Manchester United are set to hold fresh talks with Adrien Rabiot's representatives next week on the back of engaging in discussions earlier on this summer. Obviously, we know that Rabiot's agent is his mother. Apparently, she's quite difficult to do business with. Apparently, she's caused trouble in the past. Apparently, she's even called out the manager in the past publicly when her son wasn't being picked, which is a conversation for a whole nother day. But apparently, the Manchester Evening News today are reporting that he is asked for a 3-year contract from Manchester United, and he's demanding wages of at least 160k per week. And you know what, right? I actually don't think that's that bad. I really don't. And there'll be people like, don't sign Rabiot, blah, 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 but there's no transfer fee. He's a completely free agent, right? There might be a small signing on fee. But if you look at his wages, we currently pay Christian Eriksen 150k a week. Christian Eriksen looks like he's going to leave the club this summer. So that should be 150k a week of wages off the wage bill. We currently pay McTominay 60k a week. He's most likely going to be going. We'll talk about him in a minute. That's 2 midfielders out of the door, right? Who currently earn a combined wage of 210,000 a week. And then you've also got Hannibal who's going to go, who's on about 15k. So if you look at it like this, right? You let Hannibal go, you let Eriksen go, and you let McTominay go, you'd be saving about 230 grand per week in wages, right? Then you bring in Rabiot for 160k a week. You promote Toby Collier to the first team, and maybe you then bring in Manuel Ugarte, okay? those three players combined, Rabiot, 160k a week, wages. Then you go over to Toby Collier. Toby Collier currently only earns 2.5k a week. So that's 162k combined between the two players. And then you bring in Ugarte, who earns 100k a week. So it would be 100 for Ugarte, 160 for Rabiot, and about 2.5 for Toby Collier. So it's roughly 260k a week's worth of wages, but for those three players. And then if you get rid of Eriksen, McTominay, and Hannibal, you save about 240k a week anyway. So when you look at it like that, you're not really actually going to be paying any more wages per week than what you currently do. And obviously you've got to remember, we're going to get 30 million for McTominay, straight profit. 5 million for Christian Eriksen, straight profit. We've never paid a penny for Eriksen. And we'll get our money back for Hannibal, around 10 million. So from those three players, you'll make a £35 million profit. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer, I think. Is Rabiot the player for the future? No, but is he a good squad player? Is he better than Eriksen? Yes, I think he is. So for that reason alone, if we're able to sign Rabiot and Ugarte, or Rabiot and Zubimendi, I would go and do that, because it's only going to strengthen us and it's only going to give us more options going into the season. But I want you to let me know your thoughts. How much do you think Rabiot should earn a week? Would you sign him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I always like to see what other Man United fans have to say, so make sure you get involved. And now I want to move over to Wan-Bissaka, because Fabrizio has teased us with those three words that everyone seems so obsessed about. Wan-Bissaka to West Ham is expected to be a here we go in the next 2 days. That's what Fabrizio said in the last half an hour. So that's literally breaking news that's just come out, that we should get the here we go for Wan-Bissaka in the next couple of days. So that's really, really positive. Obviously, we had the story early on today that apparently Mazraoui has his medical booked at Carrington on Tuesday. So, as I've said many, many times before, the Wan-Bissaka and Mazraoui deal will happen at the same time. There are two key things to really, really focus on here. So, the Manchester United players who are on the tour will be back in Manchester tomorrow on Sunday. And the Bayern Munich players who are currently on the tour will be back in Munich on Monday. Now, there are some murmurs saying that with Mazraoui being back on Monday and this medical on Tuesday, that there might even be a situation where a private jet leaves Munich and flies to Manchester with both Mazraoui and De Ligt on it. And there is also a story today that apparently there's this, I've never heard of this before, right? This is completely new to me, but it sounds kind of cool. There's this, what they're describing as a transfer committee that's taking place on Monday. It's called a transfer room deal day committee. And what it is, right? It's happening in Madrid. All of the top clubs in the world are going to this meeting, their transfer representatives, and they're effectively going to go there and discuss deals. It seems like obvious. Like, why have people not done this in the past? They go there, they tell each other which players they want to sell, and then they try and do deals. This is happening on Monday. It says Manchester United and Bayern Munich are among the top clubs set to be present at Transfer Room's deal day deadline meeting on Monday. He says that some of football's top decision makers will convene in Madrid for a day of transfer talks, which will speed up some of the more high-profile moves. It makes so much sense, doesn't it? So it should be a really, really big week for Manchester United next week. Obviously, we expect Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox to be our representatives for that. So we'll obviously wait and see how that materialises. But hopefully we come away from that with De Ligt, Mazraoui, and maybe another player in the bag. And hopefully we sell some players as well. You know, hopefully McTominay, Lindelof, etc., etc. Maybe even Casemiro. So yeah, we'll wait and see how that one progresses. But in relation to Mazraoui, obviously, apparently Erik ten Hag wants Mazraoui ahead of Manchester United's game against Man City next week. So that's really, really good. I'm excited to see him. And then the final story I've got for you is on Scott McTominay. Apparently Fenerbahce have entered the race. I don't even know why journalists are putting out these stories. Like, no disrespect to Fenerbahce, but they don't have the money that Manchester United are going to want. They don't have £30 million to buy him. Galatasaray tried. They failed. They offered 13 million and then 17. Whereas at the same time, Fulham are offering 23. Like, it's just not going to happen. But apparently McTominay wants to move to Galatasaray. That's what's being reported. But it's not going to happen because Man United will sell him for the highest price. They have set their price. And if that price isn't met, he won't go. So, yeah. Obviously, it's a news show. I bring you guys the news. I can't, swerve away from news. Apparently, Fenerbahce have entered the race. But I just think it's yeah, I think it's pointless, to be honest, because they're not going to pay the money we need. But I'm going to wrap the video up here. It's just a short one to bring you guys the evening roundup. Please make sure to smash a like on the video before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on Rabiot in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.